how goes it? Ken Bozak here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories. Today we're streaming with strangers. Well, not so much a stranger at all. Basically, not another Bitcoin interview, I guess more like it. A fireside chat with Ryan Rodden of CastleCrypto.gg. How goes it, bro?
What's going on, brother?
Enjoying the day, debating on whether or not I want to go out and have a snowball fight with some pedestrians just to blow off some steam, man.
Yeah, it'll be an icy one today, so don't kill somebody.
Yeah, right. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Let everybody know a little bit about who you are, maybe how you got in this space, and what that is that you're doing now in the industry, how it led you towards that.
Yep. So my name is Ryan Rodden. I've over 10 years of experience in internet marketing. I'm also a self-taught guitar player, and pretty much I've taught myself everything from internet marketing to guitar. With crypto-wise, I got in, I would say like late 2017, definitely FOMO'd into like Bitcoin, Litecoin, the bull run. But I'm such a SEO guy and I'm such a marketing guy and make your own way, make your own money type of a guy that crypto just like sucked me right in the second I learned about it. So what I try to do is I work with clients and I help them with their web presence, but I also try to build my own websites, affiliate websites, little niche sites. And so crypto is just ripe for creating these little content sites or gathering small communities or, we're so early in this space that as an internet marketer, I'm like, okay, I have to get into this and I want to make money. So I would, buy the tokens too, buy the coins. And, that's pretty much it.
One of the pretty awesome byproducts of this is it's more of like a traditional on-ramp in, because you're just basically looking at getting more income and stuff, but while you're creating the content to get these interactions, for the marketing and stuff, it's really, you're learning a lot too in the background.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure there's
Absolutely.
tons of stuff that you've learned. I mean, what are some of the projects and stuff like that that you've had a lot of success with, promoting? What are some of the more popular ones?
So you talking about internet marketing in general?
Yeah,
Like
well,
just,
like crypto projects, internet marketing wise, because it's really hard right now, like for them to even get their foot in the door that way. But I'm just curious, which are some of the more like successful projects that you've worked with? You'd
so
say.
actually, I've just started getting into crypto when it comes to marketing. So Castle Crypto, the site, castlecrypto.gg, is actually my first crypto marketing website with the intention of filling a need that I feel that there's out there in the space. So I've actually never worked directly on a project. I've never had anyone come and say like, okay, we'll give you this many tokens if you join the team. So I've actually never jumped on a crypto project, but I'm getting into it my own way, right? So when I work with Google, what I try to do is do research into what are people searching for. And then when you Google something, I just have the ability to scan the results and see if they suck or if I can create a website that answers those needs, right? So Castle Crypto, for example, is a video game review site for the crypto space because right now there really isn't a lot of people reviewing games. Like you basically see games coming out all over the place and there's no information about them other than the site itself, right? So if you want to learn about Gods Unchained, you got to go to Gods Unchained. If
Right.
you want to learn about Steam Monsters, you got to go to Steam Monsters. There's not really like a third party.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah, exactly. Like
yeah,
YouTubers like myself are pretty much it, right? But
yeah, exactly.
it's
Yeah,
decentralized. It's, chaos.
right.
And not
Yeah,
we don't cover all things. There's tons of games I'll never probably make a video about,
right.
unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
exactly.
checking out the website right now for the viewers. We can see here that there's the reviews guys, approved ETH games, MetaMask tutorial, which is actually something I'm working on myself right now because there
Yeah.
isn't enough. So guys, definitely check it out. CastleCrypto.gg, collectibles, which I think are going to be huge moving into 2019 when you think about like gaming and the ability to have like these microtransactions and own assets digitally, like what Wax is doing with like tokenizing Yeezy shoes. Have you seen that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everything. I think the gaming space is going to probably lead the way when it comes to digital collectibles because, first of all, how many gamers are out there, and then how many gamers want stuff that they can trade?
Did you
I
see how fast Apex, that new game, got 25 million active users? Seven
No,
days. 7 days. It took them 7 days to get 25 million users from zero to
how do
25
they do
million.
that though? Like, what
That's
do they?
that's the market though, right? That's
Yeah,
the space right now. Look at Fortnite. 0 to 100,
Yeah.
and then it's probably going to be dead. 0 to 100 on Apex. As soon as these gamers start to realize that they could play games like Steam Monsters or Gods Unchained or Chibi Fighters or X, Y, and Z, I believe that paradigm shift is going to happen with the gamers, and they're going to take over completely. We're not far from Ninja Token.
Dude, well, think about what crypto has done for people's like education on economics, right? Your time is worth something. Your investments should be worth something. Your money should be worth something, obviously. So if you're going to sit down and play a video game all day, typically, if I was going to play Contra on NES, I would just sit there and waste like 5 hours playing Contra. Actually, for me, it wouldn't be a waste because I love Contra.
Right.
But now you can play a game like Steam Monsters and spend all your time earning stuff and then sell it later. Like let's say you just quit and retired from gaming altogether. You can say, "Oh, well all those hours I put into this, now I can actually monetize that because now I have cards that are signed to me on the blockchain." Or if you got in early, maybe you have like founders cards or maybe you have all this stuff that people want.
Well, a lot of the traditional, perspective would say, why does it have to be decentralized then? Why can't they just use digital cards then? I mean, why has it got to be on an open marketplace? Why do you have to have the private key? Why does it matter? Like, why is
Well, it's just
this?
about trusting, I guess. Like, it's all just it's a trustless system, I guess is the reason for that. Because how do I know if I have a card on Steam Monsters and it's not decentralized, how do I know the game owner is not just going to like steal it from me at some point? Or like, how do I know there's a situation where someone can just, oh, you know what, you don't have that anymore. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even if the server were to shut down, if it's open source, you could run the game and play, yourself. There's no central point of failure to even interact with the game, so your assets that you invested in wouldn't be, in
Right.
void.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about SEO and
Okay.
some of the issues that censorship can cause when it comes to the progression of cryptocurrency projects. I think it's funny that you have, companies like Basic Attention Token, which are, talking about providing ads and you opt in and you get paid for your attention, but they can't even market on Facebook or Twitter that this thing exists. They're not allowed to market because of censorship. And Google won't allow them to advertise either. So, like, how do
Yeah.
these projects get any active users if they're not allowed to market to the billions of active users in
I
the
know.
active marketplaces for advertising?
Yeah, dude, I totally agree with you. And what it really comes down to is like organic social because paid social, for example, Facebook, like I made a Facebook page for Castle Crypto and was not allowed to market it. Okay. So I pulled my credit card out and said, find me people in Bitcoin, in Ethereum that will like this page so that I can generate a little bit of a community. Part of the reason was because I had crypto in the title, right? So they won't take my money to do that, which means I'm going to have either an organic presence or I'm going to have to find, there are third party ad serving sites like ones like coin.media or something. I forget what it is, where you can pay people. And we can actually get into this in a minute when it comes to like Brave and Basic Attention Token. But yeah, when somebody won't take your money, it means you have to do it organically. You have to build up your own following, or you have to have somebody that already has a following, like an influencer, basically raise all kinds of attention for it. So I don't know if you follow Richard Hart at all. He's a big,
I was just watching him live earlier. I think he's live still right now.
yeah. So he's talked about this, the need for like, when you have a new project, how do you market it, right? Because it's so brutal right now. Um, from an SEO perspective in Google, one of the reasons I started a site like Castle Crypto is that Google organic, they don't really have a filter as far as I'm concerned about crypto and crypto websites. Paid ads is a totally different story. But I can start a site tomorrow, today, write articles, and when people are searching for stuff, Google will serve that. Okay, because there's many situations. It's all an algorithmic, so they're not going to be 100% certain that something's a scam or something is inappropriate. Sometimes it requires like users to flag content or things like that.
Right.
So the reason I got into SEO to begin with was because I love the idea of creating passive income streams by creating little niche websites. So in crypto, if you know how to do keyword research, you can try to start sites that answer questions that people have. And then when those people visit your website, you can market your crypto project. I mean, that's a great way to do it.
What about using the platforms that have the crypto active users like, Steam, and using the ability to promote post in Steam, and like you said, even reaching out to, like, to the influencers. What about like reaching out to outside of the crypto industry influencers, the traditional, like, the gamers that are playing traditional games right now, that play Yu-Gi-Oh on YouTube Live and Magic the Gathering. Why aren't we reaching out to get them to play Steam Monsters and stuff like that?
You know what's interesting about that is that people always ask the question, like, if you're going to advertise a crypto game, do you go after gamers or do you go after crypto people? And I think the answer is you got to go after crypto people, because most gamers, to me, don't really care or aren't that interested maybe in Bitcoin, for example. They might know about it. So if you had Ninja, tweet about Steam Monsters or something, I don't know that many people would actually care that it's like a blockchain decentralized game. You know what I mean? So I think it would be effective to do that just for awareness, but I don't know if you would actually increase your user base that much right off the bat by doing that, because people playing Fortnite aren't necessarily going to jump on Steam Monsters. People playing the Magic the Gathering might be. Okay, they might have an inclination to do that because it's really similar.
Yeah, they just started an online game too. Yeah.
Right, but they might have no idea what a blockchain is. So if they don't even have that fundamental understanding, they have to take the time to learn it. And so then your marketing becomes even more challenging, because the gaming community might not be aware of it versus the crypto community who already gets the fundamentals. So you got to find those crypto gamers.
Right. No, you're not wrong, and I'm trying to kind of position myself for that, like playing all these games and trying to understand them. And I saw Wax.io do a really interesting marketing strategy earlier, where they did a raid on a Twitch streamer. He was playing Fortnite, and they were just like, "Hey, if he wins, we're gonna give him $100. Go see if he wins." And we're just like, "What?" So we just jumped in this dude's live chat from Twitter and just started hashtag Wax on stream, like raiding him, and there was like hundreds of people just like watching him play, and it was pretty cool. I think he got in like third place. He got like $57, and that was just an interesting way to get a traditional gamer involved in a way. And I think CryptoKitties did it pretty uniquely with what was it, Stephen Curry. They turned him into a little CryptoKitty. And I don't, like you said, like you mentioned, I don't believe that got many people that were interested in Stephen Curry involved in Bitcoin or crypto.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think, because most people aren't going to get the connection. Like, they're just going to say, okay, he got turned into a cat. Like, who cares? But if somebody else who's in crypto understands that he got turned into a digital collectible, it's a totally different pitch. So I totally agree with what you're saying. But yeah, the challenge, man, it's really hard. I mean, the space is so new. There's also a lack of trust. So people are also on guard about trusting any ad they see. I mean, any crypto ad I see in my face, especially if it's like ICO related or anything.
Well, every ad speaks like an investment. None of them speak like a utility. I've never seen any project really advertise themselves to their end users. They're always advertising towards, hey, invest in this or buy this, buy that. We got listing or partnerships here, but never any features or utility or, check out our actual website, use the tokens, blah, blah, blah. None of that. Like,
right, yeah.
I don't know what their incentive is to not find end users over investors is, but it's clearly why I think a lot of the dApps are failing and ICOs are too.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, any good project is going to take a ton of time, energy, thought, might take years, patience, right? So the people that create shit projects aren't going to take the time, energy, get the right talent involved. Like, even just finding the right talent could take you a year to find the right people to be involved. So the people that don't do that are going to create a bunch of crap, and then they're going to ask for your money. They're going to gladly take it. The coin might go up on an exchange, might go up to 10 cents, and then they dump, or whatever the hell the plan was all along, and then the project goes nowhere. So, I think the crypto space is what's great about it is that it's creating like an awareness of blockchain and all this innovation that's possible. The problem is you can take it in two directions. You can actually be an
Yep.
innovator, or you can be a total scammer, and it's way easier to just be a total scammer.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the route a lot of people are going. But that. Unfortunately, bad actors occur in any,
Yeah,
new industry. This has happened even in early days of the stock market and, property deeds. I love saying this. The Eiffel Tower was sold illegally twice,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
that's like how. How is something so big, so expensively sold illegally twice? But, that's just the flaws of technology being exploited, which we need for it to be able to become mainstream, right? Like, we need these honeypots for bad actors to exploit that, we can then patch up before it becomes exploited later on. And that's why I don't think, we're ready for this crypto mainstream adoption state just yet. Everyone keeps screaming for it, but I think we need more, advancement, more time to advance. Just we need more mainstream awareness. We need to start promoting, like you said, the understanding of it and how to use it and stuff. But, with what you're doing with Castle Crypto is really interesting because, people don't really need to care too much about the volatility of a market to play the game, Like, I
Yeah,
don't care if Steam's up or down. I can still play Steam
right.
Monsters, and my Steam Monsters are still there.
Yeah, but you have played Steam Monsters, and you have a lot of good things to share about it. So that content is really valuable. So that's also the philosophy behind Castle Crypto is that you've played the game, you have a review, and you have an opinion of it, and that's valuable to other people. So that content is what you should create that attracts people. Because what do we always do? We always go to Google and type in, "Is it a scam?" I need reviews, and then you'll watch a YouTube video before you buy anything. So that content to me is extremely valuable if you're looking for crypto content to create, because it's ultimately the first thing that comes into everybody's mind is like, okay, I don't know if I can trust this person. Over time, if you build up your credibility as an influencer, then people will trust you. So that's the ultimate affiliate situation, is when you've done your due diligence and then you are the trust factor. So that when you go review a game and you say it's good or shit, people go, oh, okay, I'm going to skip all the learning process and just trust Ken because he's, done the work.
Now, where does the responsibility lie, right? Because, like, back in early crypto, we've had, influencers and even companies like CoinMarketCap promote things like BitConnect, BitPetite, USI
Yeah.
Tech.
Yeah.
Even myself, I had a little BitConnect account tracking how much money I
Yeah.
lost by having money in BitConnect.
Yeah. Sure.
People didn't believe you were able to lose money making 40% a month. I showed them it's somewhere out there on YouTube still. Yeah, you can lose money making 40% a month. Only in BitConnect though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, where's the responsibility lie? And like, how do you know what is a scam until it isn't? Like, with for example, and I'm not saying it is. I really hope it's not, but it's still in beta. Who knows? God's Unchained. Like,
Yeah.
I could
Perfect
I could
example.
spend 10 Ethereum right now on God's Unchained. I just made a video about them, and I can't even play the game yet.
I know.
I can
Yeah.
only buy the cards, so it's like almost like an ICO, right? Like I have these ICO tokens with no utility behind them.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, dude, the responsibility lies with you, the person. So whoever the individual is, you are responsible for doing your own research and making your own decisions. So God's Unchained, all these ICOs are out there. Like, you could just wait and find out if it's good later, right? You could just say, all right, I'm not going to touch this game for 6 months and wait. That's a personal decision to make. If you're investing in an ICO, you could just say, I'm going to wait and find out later.
Well, the same reason I jumped into Steam Monsters was for the beta cards. You got to get
Right.
the early cards, man. It's like I
But you
want the
could play the game though,
Charizard. Hmm?
but you could play the game though.
That's true. That is
Right.
true. You can play the
Yeah.
game. But
So
that's one of the reasons why I got the Gods Unchained cards though, is because they had the betas. But then they baited me because I can't play the damn game with them. But they do have a beta, and I've seen people play it, and I've entered to play the beta. I just don't know when they're gonna release it. They said a couple months, so it's like. But
yeah.
again, like I
I
said,
mean,
the due diligence thing, like, and the responsibility, it's just. It's hard because something could just, get hacked or inside manipulated or, whatever, and just disappear one day like Quadriga. It was not a scam until it was a scam.
right.
Like
Yeah.
in all essence, it isn't a scam. It's just, but it seems like a scam, maybe not. Like that's kind of like that could happen without like the whole rabbit hole that you could go down with the conspiracy theory of Quadriga. But if somebody were to pass away with the private keys or whatever, it could be anything.
Yeah, on some level, you're just buying a lottery ticket too, if you think of it that way. Like if you buy Steam Monsters cards, Gods Unchained cards, and you get a rare card, right? Like technically, that's kind of like a lottery ticket because later on, you might hit on that for a thousand
That's true.
dollars. Like maybe you get a legendary card. So there's also that like oh, I'm gonna win big on this, and if the cards are cheap now and they're gonna be twice as expensive 4 months from now. I mean, who knows? So you're kind of like playing the lottery a little bit, but that's your own money. So if you want to burn your own ETH or your own dollars on that Bitcoin, whatever it is, that's still your decision. So to me,
You're
it's
right.
the responsibility is personal responsibility. That's how, no matter what you read, no matter what you see on video, to me, it always comes down to just gut feeling, doing your own research.
There's my point. The responsibility is not mine, the content creator. It is the observer of the content to have the responsibility of doing their own research.
Exactly.
So responsibility is in void when you are independently of sound mind and body. That's my thoughts. Oh, dude, I was just checking this out because you brought up a good point about the cards being worth something. I
Yeah.
have a card on Steam Monsters that is going for a minimum of $500 right now on the market.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
There you
only
go.
29 of them that exist, and I have one, and the cheapest I see it is for 500.
Yeah, I mean, you could wait on that 2 years. That might be,
It looks like
five
Charizard
grand.
too. Like, look at this thing.
Yeah, the art is awesome on Steam Monsters.
Oh wait, there we go.
Cool.
Check that out, guys. So yeah, this is the card I have because when I go to my collection, yo, do you want to fight, man?
Yeah, hell yeah.
You want to fight? Where's my
Absolutely.
collection? Oh, this is my collection. Rare gold, not all gold. Lightning Dragon. I got one of these bad boys. Oh snap! I had two, and I think no, never mind. I only need one more. Okay. I don't know if I got it at this level or if I ended up combining another one of these cards to level it up.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have a gold rare one and you combine those, I mean, you're making that like super rare
Yeah, because you're
by doing
taking it out
that.
of circulation. Can you explain that a little bit? Because some people won't understand what that actually means. Like, I kind of try to explain it like ripping up an actual Charizard on live TV into taking it out of circulation.
Yeah, so I mean, think about the digital collectibles idea where there's only a certain amount of them ever. Steam Monsters allows you to combine individual cards and make them more powerful. But in the process of doing that, you're actually destroying one of them, essentially, or two. So if you have, I think, what does it take? 3 cards total to level up to like a level 2. So if you have 3 rare cards and you combine them all into one, just as an example, 2 of those cards are now off the market forever. It's in the blockchain, they're gone, right? So they were created, but now they're gone because they've become like combined into like a new card that's essentially more rare. So I guess over time, all of the really weak cards will have eventually, moved up the chain and been combined. Um, yeah, which just keeps making it more and more rare. All right, so I got your challenge.
You got it? All right,
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. So I have a feeling you're going to take me to town here, but it says I need one more beta edition booster pack to accept.
Oh, I put one booster pack on the line. You didn't have one? I can cancel and send another one without that. Hold on. Don't move.
Yeah, I think it's saying I need to buy one so that I can put it on the line, I guess.
Yeah, but I can change the challenge parameter so it's actually 0. And then I'm setting the limit to silver. That way, there's no steamroll. So the cool thing about Steam Monsters with this challenge feature is that you can kind of, set that limit. So we have more of an even playing field advantage.
Okay. All right, let's see if I get the challenge. All right, so this is my first one-on-one. I like this. All All right, bro. Someone's gonna get rocked here.
All right, so elevator pitch me, man. Like, what if I'm somebody that's into gaming and I kind of get blockchain, but not really? Why is blockchain and gaming like such a big deal? Why should I look into it some more?
Well, I think it's the future, and it's just a natural combination of what's coming. Um, by the way, it looks like the game started. Should I accept?
Oh yeah, we got a minute and 30 seconds. It looks like I'm already building my team.
Ah, so you're trying to distract me with questions, huh? Is that what
I
it is?
didn't realize what I was doing, but I think that's what I was doing subconsciously.
All right, yeah, I see how it is. Oh, dude, 15 mana. This is rough.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I think I got the combo though.
Hmm.
Actually, maybe not. Jesus.
This is tough.
Yeah, this is really tough. So for people who don't know the game that well, you have to pick
Oh.
cards based on a certain limit of their strength, and we're at the lowest one possible, which is like,
Yeah, this is like the worst.
dude, this is almost impossible.
Yeah. No, seriously, dude. What am I supposed to do? Like, I could send out one monster, but like you're right. Like I can't do that. So I redid my hand a little bit to make it more fair, but like
Dude, I can't even use the
what?
creeping ooze, bro.
The
Uh,
freaking ooze, man.
this is gonna be ugly. I mean, now people need to understand Ken probably has way better cards than me, but I don't know if that. So you're saying you can limit it based on
Yeah,
the
so you'll see in the screen on my end there's like exclamation marks, like caution signs. It basically says that my cards attacks and everything have kind of been stunted a little bit, so they're not being used to their full ability.
Okay.
Yeah, they get a little hand tied behind their back, if you will.
Dude, what is that summoner card?
Let's see, what do we got going on? Yeah, I know my summoner, dude. It's just it's badass. It's a badass summoner.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch on your screen so we can. Oh yeah, dude, I'm getting.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Like, there we go. I keep missing.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up with
Yes.
the missing? No, 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 no. That isn't fair. Did you see that, internet? Did you see that, internet?
Dude, that
What?
that front
Oh, my
card just
adrenaline,
ruined
dude.
you, dude.
My adrenaline. Demand a rematch. Best 2 out of 3. Best 2 out of 3.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What was that?
Oh, oops, I just hit replay battle.
Nah, it's sending you a request now. Oh my goodness. Whew.
See, that's the thing about Steam Monsters is like when I saw that come up, I thought I was actually going to get crushed. But there's so many combinations of cards you can pick that like pretty much anything can happen.
Yeah, look what happened. That was part of anything.
All right, send me another.
Shit like that is that glitch right there in the Matrix is how Trump becomes president right there. There's a bug in this
I think it was
reality.
my superior card selection. I think is what it actually was.
Damn it. My cards were playing the Bird Box challenge on the battlefield.
Dude, another 15 mana.
I know. I'm not even using the same
it's-
the same one either. I'm not doing it. What I'm gonna try to do here. What I'm gonna try to do here is something a little bit different this time. All right, so I got this guy, this guy. Oh come on, where you? Oh no, that's. Oh wait, you're 3. Go ahead, say it. Yeah. All right. All right, as long as you're not screen peeking or stream sniping, I think I got this one.
Not,
15 mana is definitely the hardest there is. It really is, guys.
I'm pulling out one of my classic go-to lineups, but I
Same
don't know.
here. I was like, this is the default. We're gonna see what happens. I can't believe that last time I just got. How
Dude,
did I miss?
you're pulling out the Dragon Summoner again.
No, this one doesn't have three ability
You got the
boosts.
blast, dude. That's gonna be trouble.
Yeah, there's the Winter Soldier, I believe, or something like that. Frozen Soldier.
No, you got that
Frozen
dude in the
Soldier,
back
yeah.
row sniping.
Yeah, that's gonna be right here. I got the ranged attack sniping out, and then I got tank heal coming. So as long as this prawn looking thing is alive, I should get a heal. There we go. Got that heal.
Yeah, that's trouble. I'm hoping my front row.
Oh, heal.
I'm hoping my
No.
front. Yes.
Yep. You won again.
Yeah, the front row
You
healer,
come
bro.
into my house and you kick my dog.
I'm undefeated. I should just quit now, and then I can forever say that you've never beaten me in Steam Monsters.
I don't even know, like, what's the best two out of just keep going forever at that point, right? One more. Gotta have one more shot at this. I don't know why the mana cap's so low. Alright.
I think it's just random. I think we just got screwed.
Oh, I don't know if I set the parameters. My bad. Wink. Come on. Did you get it? My computer's hella slow, I swear.
I didn't get the. Did you send a request?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get it. You mean to try challenging you?
No, I'll cancel it and resend. Just I know when canceling these.
Oh, there it is. It just came through now.
I knew that was gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna send you another one.
All right, I'm gonna decline this one.
I knew that. All right, instead of diamond, I'm gonna go down to gold instead of silver.
See, the great thing about this game is that not only can you play, like, anytime you try to battle, there's somebody there. Like, I find a game every single time. There's enough players. But now you can also duel people like this. I mean...
I like the reward card system. Like, you can't get them in the packs. So the more you play, the more, like, you get these rarer cards.
Yep. All right. All right, that's a little better. 20 mana. Monsters do not have armor.
Oh, no. All right. Well, that's a... Wait, does that change things? I don't know.
And if you're asking questions like that, I think I'm going to go 10 in a row here.
Yeah. Let's see.
For the people who are watching, the rule right now is we're not allowed to use monsters that have armor, which really changes the game up because it forces you into a different strategy.
Yeah, you can only use monsters that have... You want monsters that have high health. Usually the armor adds up. So there is none. Let's see. Ranged monsters have this chainsaw looking blade thing. So you want to put those up front. I'm trying to see. Well, I guess I could do. Yeah, and this is a magic, the purple little poof.
All right, I'm throwing a really interesting lineup at you on this one. This is either going to be spectacular or a total failure.
Yep. I have to redeem myself here, so I don't know. I got 1 mana. Frickin' ooze. Go ahead. I'm going to try to win with an ooze on the battlefield.
Dude, I love the ooze.
See what happens.
So someone in the comments said you can use monsters with armor, they just lose their armor. Yeah, that's correct. They just lose their ability to...
Well, yeah, you can. We didn't word that right. Whatever, technicalities.
DJ Meat Popsicle.
Alright, let's see what happens here.
Peak Rider. I don't even know. I've never even seen that card.
Oh no. Oh, whew. I don't have anybody down there really tank healing like that, but that might help. There we go. There we go.
I went with the.
Redemption. Redemption. It just
Oh,
it
dude,
feels good.
I can't even hurt that dude. Jesus. Yes. Ah. Oh, that's not good at all. I got to get rid of this guy.
There's 2
Oh, it's
days
not
left
good
in
at
this
all.
season.
Ugh. Ugh. Now it's over.
Oh yeah, we already watched it play out on my end.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Guess I'm watching the.
1450. Huh. I gotta start playing, man. I gotta get my season ranked up a little bit. I've only got 18 cards on the way. I gotta grab some more. Alright, well guys, y'all definitely should check out Steam Monsters, and if you don't know what steammonsters.com is or how to play, you can check out cryptocastle.gg, and there's a complete tutorial right there. You can go ahead and check it out, walk you through all the steps, and you even get yourself like a Steam account when you sign up for Steam Monsters. So if you ever decide to start blogging or anything like that, same username and private key.
Yeah, hell yeah. And honestly, guys, it's a fun game. I'm really honest and brutal with things that I review and check out. And so far, Steam Monsters is the only game where you can sign up right away, you can play right away. I mean, I'm sure there's others out there, but there's always a game. So when you actually click battle, there's always somebody ready to play. And the cards are fun. Like, it's really well balanced. I've also looked into Gods Unchained and some of these other games. I know you said you played Chibi Fighters, and
It's fun.
yeah, okay. So Tom from the Castle Crypto team reviewed that game, and he didn't like it. He said it
Really?
was
Did he play
kind
the side games and stuff? I mean, it's sort of like a Facebook, like when Facebook first had their apps, like Farmville kind of shit. It's like one of those kind of Farmville shitty little games. That's why I like it. Like, I don't like that game, but so many people do. So
Yeah.
many people like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So he said it was a little disappointing. So I haven't personally played it, so I'm not going to talk trash on it.
Well, I say check it out for yourself, and see if I think it's just a really good time killer.
So I remember one of the things you wanted to talk about was basic attention token and Brave, and kind of like the idea
Yeah,
behind all of that.
I wanted to see what your thoughts are on moving forward with the way marketing can approach the attention economy, rather than billboards and ads here and there, really appealing to us and basically paying us for interacting and engaging with those ads. What's the future of marketing like with things like basic attention token, if
Yeah.
mainstream?
Yeah. So I mean, I think the ad space is ripe for being totally disrupted, especially the online ad space is just asking to be absolutely destroyed. Brave browser, to me, I mean, I'm not a huge on the technicals, but it seems like a really great product. It's really fast, and the fact that they have like a privacy first focus versus other browsers which don't have that. I mean, I think the age we're entering in now is that everyone is going to be forced to have privacy first in mind, like when you're designing anything. I think that's where we're going. So anyone that's left behind is basically not going to have all the users, because all the users are going to want that sort of like privacy first focus. I love the idea of rewarding content contributors right on the spot. So like if I'm watching your video, I can just click a button, send you basic attention token or whatever it is, or whatever that token amounts to be in the future. I love the idea of that. The other interesting thing though is that when they say they're going to reward you for watching an ad, my question is like, how much can I possibly earn from that? I mean, if I say, okay, I'm going to opt in, because it's all an opt-in strategy. Like, can I earn what, 5 cents a day? Can I earn $5 a day? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know what the benefit is of the user necessarily yet over the long run. If that's the strategy, if we're going to try to get people to opt in. I think the other great thing about it is it's going to force people who create browser technology like Brave. There's another one called MetaLife. I don't know if you've heard of MetaLife. It's LYFE Life.
No,
Uh,
I know Opera has a built-in cryptocurrency wallet and stuff like that now.
yeah. Um, so like the ads on the page might actually not be built into the content structure like you typically would see. Like if you're scrolling through a page and you have the little rectangle here, the square here, it might actually be like an overlay experience where they're targeting you based on what you've opted into, so that it's not intrusive to the page load. So that would be cool if people can innovate that way. I personally am okay with seeing ads as long as they're really targeted. So I do want to know, for instance, if concerts are coming around that of bands
Right.
that I like. I want to see that because I don't know how the hell else I'm going to know unless I'm on like social media all day following people. So if someone just pops in a little ad that says, "Hey, by the way, Metallica's in town. Do you want to buy a ticket?" I might be like, "Oh yeah, that's a perfect ad for me." So I think that kind of stuff, that kind of innovation is great. I mean, that's where it's all coming from. Not to mention the amount of fraud in this industry when it comes to like click fraud, ad serving fraud. I mean, that all needs to be really cleaned up. So, you as a publisher on your website, you're relying on like, I don't know how many layers of people reporting data about data that's being shared, clicks that have happened,
Right.
what's their fake clicks, where the money's going. Someone takes a cut, someone else takes a cut, and then by the time it gets to you, you have whatever's left. I mean, all this shit can be cleaned up with the blockchain, hopefully. There's actually a guy in Philadelphia where we're from that is getting into the space heavily. He's creating like a blockchain ad platform. I forget what his name is. But a lot of there's a lot of good minds going into this. So that's kind of like my like overarching view of it.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna have to figure out a way to really, well, not we, but mainstream marketing is gonna have to figure out a way to engage with us, the people they're advertising to, and incentivize us to opt in, right? Like, you brought up a really good point, like wanting to see advertisements for these local concerts. I actually opted out of advertisements on YouTube. I pay for that YouTube Red. It's like five
Yeah,
or $10 a month or something, and I
right,
never see a YouTube video ad. Every time I watch a
right. Yeah, I
video,
don't
there's
either. Yeah,
no ads. But then there was a concert recently, and there was a couple projects that were coming out in the space. Like there was like a scam like bunny coin friggin' ad on every YouTube. I didn't know about any of this because like I don't see those ads, so I didn't really. All my friends are talking about this scammy ad running on YouTube, like back when BitConnect ads were around, and
yeah.
I was just like, oh, I didn't really see any of those because I paid to get out of those. So it's even like not knowing all what's going around in the space itself. Like we really kind of create that weird echo chamber around ourselves where we don't know what's going on, or an event, local events. People don't know there's a concert or a conference or whatever because they have ad blockers, and I'm sure they would be
Right.
interested. And that's where it brings me up to like where I think things like guys mentioned earlier before we went live, like Netflix and Hulu, these companies are going to probably fight over paying us to choose to watch our content on their platform rather than the opposite. Like I don't see a future where I'm paying Netflix every month. Netflix needs me to watch their
Right.
content, and they're going to advertise either, I think, like sort of how Pirate Bay is doing it now. They're mining in the background of people as they surf. I think that's maybe a potential avenue that they'll seek is while you're there on the platform, they'll be mining your background computational power instead of hitting
Yeah.
you with ads. Or you could pay for not seeing ads or whatever, or get paid for having ads displayed on your screens and engaging with them.
Yeah, I think people in general are okay with ads. It's just about like not being intrusive. So as long as you're not shoving, like there's nothing worse than landing on a web page and the first thing that hits you is a pop-up.
Oh, and
Like,
when it's word for word, like, hey, did grandma need a new blender? And you're like, I just talked to my brother about grandma needing a new blender. How did they know?
yeah, like remarketing is great. I do that kind of stuff all the time.
What's
Um,
that?
well, remarketing is when it's like if you go to Amazon and you're looking at rakes or something, and then you go to another site and you see that exact product following you around on the web, right? So you can go to NewYorkTimes.com and a Google AdSense ad will show you that exact Amazon product, right?
Right.
They're doing that by pixels. So, well, we also can do that ourselves. So with Facebook and Google, if somebody touches kenbozak.com, then they go somewhere else, I can show them, just those people, an ad for like that shirt that you're wearing right now, right? Because that person was on kenbozak.com.
What?
Yeah, because the ad targeting there is perfect because it's someone that was on the site. So you can immediately remarket, and you can do this with Facebook too. Do you ever go
Yeah,
to a
but see,
website?
like, what is something like this called? You said we could do this, right? Instead of like
Yeah,
big corp, like what's something like that start cost? You know what I mean? For like a
cheap as
small,
hell, super cheap,
really?
like pennies. Yeah,
Let's do
all you
this. Hey
all you have to do.
guys, keep an eye out for these ads.
Yeah, now, yeah, everyone watching, you're gonna get pummeled by this shirt. So the underwear is coming next.
Yo, mankini, you know, so they
Yeah.
can wear it to the beach.
So, I mean, I'll show you how to do it. It's super easy. All you have to do is have a Google Ads account or a Facebook Ads account. And then what you do is you build up what's called a remarketing audience. So this is, by the way, this is advice for anyone who's watching who has their own website. You should have a pixel recording data on your site for both Google and Facebook. Here's another reason why. Let's say your website gets super popular. You get 50,000 hits a month.
Ooh.
You're recording that in Facebook. And now you can actually, this is like a ninja backdoor affiliate strategy. You can sell that Facebook pixel data to somebody and be like, by the
No.
way, if you want to remarket to all these people that are on kenbozak.com, you know, they're obviously into crypto in some way or whatever.
I didn't even know
And
that was a thing. That sounds evil. I don't approve.
yeah, I'm not saying this is like a legit strategy that's ethical and all that, but
No, but like you said, ninja strategy. All right,
yeah,
I
like
dig it.
there's stuff that can
Wow.
be done that if you're like a marketing gangster underground. I mean, it's actually, you know, a lot of this stuff is pretty basic and it's been around forever. It's just how creative can you be when you use it.
So
So
let's talk about malicious use of this kind of data because that's what everybody wants to talk about. Facebook taking my data and manipulating me and selling it to X, Y, and Z. You know, like kind of how I just got a little uneasy when thinking about sharing everyone's data. Like, why? Like, why is that even a problem? Who cares? Like, what are some of the potentials of, you know, the risks of this?
well, I mean, the reason it became huge, or one of the reasons it became huge recently, was because of the use of it when it comes to elections. So if people are manipulating stuff like local elections, national elections, or whatever, because of the way they're targeting people, then what's happening is you're raising the consciousness of everyone, saying, how do they know that, you know, like let's say there's some Russia story. First of all, how do they know to show that to me? And B, how do I know if it's true? And if it's false, Facebook is purposely serving an ad or information to manipulate seemingly elections or manipulate things that actually have real world consequences. That's kind of like an overview brush of it, right? So that kind of raised the level of everyone going like, oh, I didn't realize my data was so exposed. My whole thought is we are the product when we use these platforms, when we use Facebook, when we use Instagram. I mean, a lot of people don't think this way, but all along, you got to know someone's tracking every single thing you're doing. I mean, the way the web is now, it's just kind of how things are. Um, but the malicious side of that is how is that data being used to just affect, like, you know, like it could have real world consequences. Regardless of what your political affiliation is, you want an election to be fair and honest, right? You want information circulating around the web to be fair and truthful.
Right. So when I'm
But
like Googling Bitcoin and I go on Facebook and Twitter and all I see is CNBC and CNN and, you know, all these mainstream media companies saying Bitcoin's dead, experts say Bitcoin's dying, it can't take off, blah, 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 blah. It's all like, you know, it seems to be centralized opinion and we can't get, you know, a third party opinion in that way at all. You know, so like they're taking some data of mine, knowing that I look into this, and they're trying to give me content in one specific direction instead of, you know, diverse content, which is really annoying.
and the worst part about it is that most people don't even read the article; they just read the headline.
Yeah.
So all they need to do is get in front of you a headline that's like shocking, or
And see a bunch of likes under it. That's
yeah,
the thing
yeah,
too. They did a really good experiment about showing you a picture that already had a bunch of likes and seeing whether or not you would like it just because. A lot of people that saw the same picture when it had a few amount of likes chose not to like it, and
right,
then they
yeah.
showed another group of people. It was like, wow, they just do it. Well, I don't understand what that. I don't know what kind of herding mentality that is, but if I ever catch myself doing it subconsciously, I'm gonna slap myself on the wrist. Bad,
Yeah.
Kenny. Bad.
But real quick, just back to the original point that I brought up, was that you should be, and everyone who's an internet marketer or whoever's, if you have a presence online, you should be recording data on your own pixel that Google gives you and Facebook gives you, because this is just stuff that every marketer can do, and then serve your T-shirt to people that have been on your website. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If someone's been on your site and you say, hey, you want to buy Ken's T-shirt, I mean, I don't think people are going to be pissed about that, because they might actually be interested in that. Those strategies are cheap. All you have to do is you can get banners made on Fiverr for $5. You can get a set of Google banners made. And then click-wise, is if you get your targeting correct, which is remarketing in this case, it's actually pretty cheap. You can spend like $5 a day.
Well, this is
Basically.
pretty much what you do, right, for companies and stuff. So, I mean, like, how could people like reach out to you, and what's sort of like the process of like working with you? Like, pitch me, because I want to sell this shirt through. I think raking funnels of the words you used, the marketing words. Like, so what's the process like? You know what I mean? Like, and where can viewers find out, how to get in touch with you to go through that?
Yeah. So basically, the way I like to pitch it is that imagine you have a business, you have a website or a project, and you have a war council behind that project, right? Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Okay. So imagine sitting at the table of Game of Thrones. One of those guys on your panel should be an internet marketing ninja. Okay. In the modern age, if that guy or that girl is not sitting at your table, you're missing like a piece of the war council. So that's me. Okay. I'm like, I don't know who to pick from Game of Thrones, like Varys or somebody,
Oh man, I would say marketing is as
or
important.
like
I would like
English.
say dog. The dog. What's his name?
Oh, the Hound.
The Hound. Yeah, dude. I mean, marketing is such a badass fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you're fighting with like Facebook and Google
That's
and
what I mean. Yeah.
yeah,
But
dude.
but but you're fighting those people, but you're also using the tools they give you. So they're
Yeah.
giving you tools, and if you don't use them and you don't know how to use them, or you're not even aware that it's possible, you're going to be like fighting the wrong tree. You're going to be or fighting the wrong tree. You're going to be barking up the wrong tree. You're going to be paying people too much money to like do it on your behalf when you can learn it in 10 minutes. Um, so basically, what I do is I do consulting. So I'll meet with a company directly, or I'll meet with someone, a startup company, whatever it is. I'll give them a pitch. I usually work on like a retainer basis. So they just, the arrangement is like X amount of dollars per month. I do accept Bitcoin and Litecoin, of course, Steam, whatever. And I also have situations where I put that in place for people. So they'll say, I have a local auto shop. How do I market it to the local community? And I'll say, okay, I'll build you banners. I'll do your Facebook marketing. I'll do all that. And it's going to cost X amount per month. My marketing consulting business is called Whitblade. It's local in Philly. So you can check that out if you want.
Philly.
Yeah. So, but that's what I do. But I also invest and start my own projects a lot. So a lot of the work I do is actually stuff like Castle Crypto, which is just my own site. And we have writers that are, putting in actual time, investing time in looking at games. But the thing that sucks is because it's crypto in the name, if I want to market it on Facebook, I actually have to create a different page. I have to
Oh.
create like, you know, Ryan's digital gaming page or something, because they won't let me market
Will they
crypto.
let so I guess the word blockchain too probably banned.
Yeah, it really depends. They have this whole, you have to fill out like a licensing form. You have to have your crypto project approved. Like there's all this BS you have to go through. Yeah, and all that is just a gate that just stops people from trying to
Well,
do this.
it's
So like,
censorship. That's all
yeah,
it really comes down to, right? Like they're incentivized through their advertisers to not compete with more media. And that's
well,
really
they're
what
gonna
it
pitch it
is.
as an ethical thing. They're gonna
Bullshit.
say ethically we need to not, you know, show all of these ICO scams and advertising because it's rampant. I can kind of get that argument, but again, remember what we talked about before, it's all personal responsibility. So if someone's dumb enough to buy every ICO out there, I mean, are you ever going to be able to stop that? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really approve of, not of censoring the ability to promote yourself, even if of an ICO. Like, it is up to your own due diligence to find out if it is or not and decide if you want to support it or not, either way, to risk it. Imagine if you had the opportunity to invest in Uber as an ICO, right, and you passed up on it. That was your choice. But because it was an IPO, you never even had a choice. You were not an accredited investor. You couldn't afford to invest in it as an IPO. So, like, that's why and who knows if Uber will be around in 5 years. So that could be a scam, and you never know until it fails. And I don't know, man. I like the whole free market opportunity thing and the whole Darwin aspect of it too. Like, let dumb people do dumb things until they smarten up or there's only smart money left. And we expose the bad actors before they, infiltrate the good projects. Like, a lot of these developers from scammed projects that exited are burnt. They can't get a job anywhere, and it sucks that they didn't know the founder was going to exit or X, Y, and Z, but it's still a reputation-based industry right now.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, and Google also doesn't let me run banners. Now, if I really wanted to, I probably would have picked a domain that doesn't have the word crypto in it.
Can you change the domain without losing anything? Or can you, like, I heard, can you buy like 2 domains and they still go to the same website?
So how it works in Google is everything is based on trust. That is what Google's job is. They are trying to get rid of spammers in the search results. If they can't accomplish that mission, then who the hell is going to use Google? Because every time you Google something, it's going to be spam, spam, spam. So Google's #1 job is actually just to get rid of spam. That's it, right? Because if the legit results come up, then that's it. So when you buy a domain, it starts at 0. It basically starts at scam status because they don't know who you are. There's no trust behind it. There's no authority behind it. There's no brand behind it unless it's like, someone had that brand in the past.
Right, yeah, no digital reputation at all.
Right, so when you so I recommend everyone go out and buy your own domain name. First of all, buyyourname.com, because during the last election, tedcruz.com, a couple other ones, if you went to that, they forwarded it to Trump website because his marketing team went out and bought all the .coms and stuff that people didn't have. So that's #1. That's just a tip that, guys, it's like $12. Just buyyourname.com. #2 is when a website grows over time, it does gain authority and trust in Google's eyes, and you don't want to change it. Okay? You want to keep that for as long as possible. And 2 to 3 years into the process, if you publish a post, it might shoot right to the top. That's why if you Google anything Bitcoin, if you Google anything crypto, what do you see in the first page? Nothing but authoritative news articles, right? You see CNBC, you see Crypto Insider, you see CoinDesk, because those sites have taken the time to establish it. If CoinDesk.com changed their name tomorrow, they would completely drop out of the search unless they properly redirected. Like CoinDesk.com is now whatever, CoinTank.com or something. And that's a very technical thing that needs to be done correctly. So Google, over time, what they want to see is authority and trust built up, and they will test you. They will sandbox your website, which means when you post articles, like Castle Crypto is so new right now that it's probably still in a sandbox period where, you can Google stuff and Castle Crypto is not going to show up. And I know that because I've gone through this process like 50 times because that site is so new. But yeah, that's kind of the idea is that, when you're creating a domain, you can go black hat strategy, you can go white hat. Black hatters, their strategy is basically just to ram it to the top of Google by cheating with exploits. But when those get patched up, you lose the site.
Have you ever heard of pre-search?
Pre-search?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
It's sort of like a decentralized search engine in a sense. They're kind of competing with like Google. Every time you search, you actually earn some pre-token and stuff like that. And
really?
Yeah, you actually own your data. Like you can pick the browsers you want to go through, all kinds of cool stuff. It's really interesting browser. They were actually having issues with, you know, obviously promoting themselves on Google because they're a Google competitor as a browser. And I always thought that was funny when, like, you know, the first thing you do with your, like, this is a known joke, like the first thing you do with Safari on a Mac is download Chrome, or, you know, download
Right.
Brave, or just download another browser. You know, it's got to hurt their feelings a little bit. I feel like eventually, sooner or later, Google will just be a search engine where you look for another search engine because you just don't want to trust them.
Well, DuckDuckGo and some of these other competitors, like if you look at the DuckDuckGo user curve, I mean, it's definitely shooting up because, you know, they claim to have better privacy. You can immediately toast your browser button. They have that little flame icon. You can just burn it, you know, and everything that was just done on that browser window, I guess, is gone forever, I guess.
I guess. I
The
mean,
problem is
Snapchat said that way back in the way back, and that got them in a lawsuit.
yeah, exactly. So, you know, the question is, though, is DuckDuckGo's search algorithm as good as Google's? And the answer is no, definitely not.
Right.
Will it be one day? Maybe, right?
And what defines better? You know what I mean? At this point, the first page is all sponsored fucking ads. Like, I swear, whenever I look for like an app or a program or whatever I'm looking to download for like some project, it's never on the first page. It's always something related that has paid to be there, and I'm just like frustration, you know, pursues, and you know,
Well,
I'm hunting. So I don't really think I don't think it's considerably better anymore because of it. They want to call everything spam, but I mean they're literally spamming me with ads.
well, I mean, that's the trade-off. Google has kind of earned their user share, which is so damn high, and there's only 10 results on the first page. And with so many websites out there, they have to pick 10 for the page one. And then other people are like, well, you know what? I don't feel like waiting. I'm going to pay you, Google, to just put me there. And they're going to take that money all day.
So what are your thoughts on micro influencing versus and macro influencing versus things like marketing on platforms, right? Like instead of spending money directly on Facebook for that ratio that you can kind of get, you know, where you can say I want to hit about 5 to 10,000 people, blah blah blah, blah whatever. You could probably reach out to a few people independently that are just, you know, smaller influencers or content creators or whatever that have, you know, a following online, and spend that money instead of on Facebook ads independently. You know what I mean? Like, do you think like that's worth more, or do you think it's still better to try to get your ads on these mainstream platforms through, like, you know, traditional sponsored AdSense rather than word of mouth kind of advertising?
Yeah. Two things about that. I love the idea of small micro transactions to people that are influencers, right? Like if I just want to pay someone a little bit to do something and then whatever my reward is for that, I love that. Also, that philosophy in general, like micro budgets for advertising, is super effective because you, even if you use the big guys like Facebook, Google, Waze, like GPS, Twitter ads can be dirt cheap. I mean, even YouTube ads, dirt cheap, right? So micro budget philosophy in general is definitely the right way to go. The only thing about influencer marketing, like let's say you paid Bitcoin Ben or somebody, I love Bitcoin Ben. Let's say you paid him to run a sponsorship.
Yeah, sell my shirt, Bitcoin Ben.
Yeah, dude, what are you waiting for? Like, how do you measure the results though? Okay, so the other part of advertising is analytics and how do you measure it. So if Bitcoin Ben or somebody else out there promotes you because you maybe you slid them a little Bitcoin, you know, just micro transaction, how do you know, who came from him? Was that even effective? Where did they go? So like all of that needs to be tracked. And the advantage of doing Facebook and Google and all that is that they give you tools to track everybody and like the flow. And then that lets you make decisions later. Because if you keep spending money on ads that are completely worthless, you're a bad business owner. You're tossing your money away. That money could be better spent somewhere else. So the only thing I don't like about that is that there needs to be a way to like determine, you know, like, okay, was that even effective? I paid somebody on Snapchat or you know, there's an influencer platform. Is their data good? Did I get the number of clicks that they actually told me I got, you know?
Oh,
So
that's just a lack of tools, I think, right? I think, you know, decentralizing marketing into an independent entrepreneurial way. There's a platform I've looked at. I've interviewed David Johnson, the CEO of Latium. And Latium's a pretty cool marketing tool for crypto. You can take a couple coins and you can say, visit this website, or go, follow this on Twitter, tweet this. Go to Google and search this term for me and make sure you click on this link. Stuff like that really helps kind of combat what Google does to suppress you from ads. Because, like, if you're opening a small pizza shop, the bigger Papa John's guys are just going to be on top of you every time somebody looks up pizza. Even though you're on the same street as me, I'm never going to see you as an option, and I'm going to wait 30 minutes instead of 10 minutes for my pizza because of it.
So for a local business, you should be able to out compete Papa John's, for example, if you set up your Google business dashboard correctly. So when I do consulting, that's one of the things I always ask a local business is, did you fill out your Google business dashboard? And when people tell me no, I'm like, look, I know Google is sketchy. I know they're a giant, UFO floating.
Isn't it conforming a little bit, right?
I mean, yes and no, because at the same time, if you open a pizza shop, how does Google know, right? They don't have people walking the streets, like checking, okay, is there a pizza shop there? I mean, they have the car that drives around. But if you just log into the dashboard and say, okay, here's my address, here's the name of my brand, it's Ken Bozak's Pizza, here's the hours we're open. They're like, oh, we love this. Give me that data. Here's our logo. And so that way, when someone searches pizza near me, they go, okay, well, this guy Ken told us he's got a pizza restaurant on the corner, so we'll show that, right? Because there is a verification process, but
as long as I'm not crypto pizza.
Yeah, if you're yeah, crypto pizza.
That's ridiculous. I mean, that happens not just with marketing and stuff, but with getting a bank account as well. Having crypto in the name of a business could, get you declined as just opening an account, not asking for a loan or anything other than just having the, freedom to secure your money safely without becoming a target. And, the banks will just say, nah, we don't want your money, which is basically saying, no, we won't help you protect your funds. Which is
exactly
really close to infringing your constitutional rights.
Really it's really unfortunate, but I mean, at this stage of the game, I don't even know what the workaround is other than building up an amazing organic presence.
Right. Well, I mean, you're from PA. I mean, I'm from PA. They just opened a dispensary in Center City, and the first thing that came to mind was honeypot. Like, how much cash is going into that, because they do not have a federal banking license. They're not allowed to have a bank account.
So stupid, dude.
My heart starts racing because I know my city. I know Philly, and I'm just sitting here like, there's going to be some crazy... You ever see that movie with what was it? Brad Pitt or whatever. It was like they were bank heists or something. The Town. That's what I think it was called. The Town.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, they crossed the bridge to rob a bank. They went back to their town or something. I don't know. But I just see some crazy stuff, like story happening from like some people traveling from New York to rob it. I'm like, you're just a giant honeypot. Do you understand how dangerous that is? You have hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash on deck. And it's just because they're a cannabis company. They're not doing anything illegal on a state level, but because federally, they just don't have the ability to...
I can't. The amount of damage weed laws have done, like, it's incomprehensible how stupid weed laws have been over the last century or more.
Yeah, but now it's endangering. Not saying that not to whatever, but it's now endangering white collar industry. It was, not, I wouldn't say not as bad when people were selling drugs on the street independently, but it's a little bit different when you have a brick and mortar business up with lights flashing and lines of people outside, and everybody knows that those people in line have cash on them because you don't accept Visa.
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about just banking, yeah, of course. Have you been did you see Planet 13 in Vegas?
As soon as I left, they opened. I got to get back down to Vegas to check it out. Definitely got to check it out. No, I'm sure, man. I'm probably going to have the Morecoin guys show me around there. They actually hooked me up so I could actually stream on BitTube and DLive and eventually Vim for Steam. It's like $50 a month on Restream.io, and they're sponsoring it. So shout out to those guys. Appreciate more in Vegas. And I got to get back out there. Planet 16. But I talked to a couple dispensaries about using cryptocurrencies, and the risk reward for them, it's just, I don't know if they understand it, because the volatility freaks them out, and then I'll try to, pitch stable coins a little bit to them. And I don't know. It's just, I guess, too early, right? Like, I feel like there's gonna have to be an event that outweighs the risk reward benefits of the technology that they have as an option, right? Like, they don't
Yeah.
have an option to bank, but they do have an option to be their own bank. They just don't understand that the reward outweighs the risks of, their employees, lighting a joint and setting all that fiat on fire or something.
And now think about how dangerous it is to have all these articles out there in Google, Facebook that have headlines that are negative about Bitcoin, or the bear market's never going to end, right? And so when you tell these people to use crypto and then they go Google it and all they see is Bitcoin is dead, don't use it, blah, blah, blah. I mean, think about the negative effect that has. So, I mean, it's just all this stuff is compounding until there is like a massive crisis, like a full financial collapse that would cause everyone to just completely bail out of like the
Yeah,
dollar.
you would have thought the mainstream media would have brought out Bitcoin when Wells Fargo couldn't, have afford to have cash for anybody. They'd shut down their ATMs. Wells Fargo was denying people, I think, $100 to $1,000 or less of cash, and I don't know, no mention of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's working. That's still
Yep.
fine. It may be going down in value, but the tech is still working. No, there's no mention of it, and it is misleading as hell. But again, the media is biased, right? Like, that's why I like to try to support independent media as much as possible, because mainstream media is paid, advertising fees by companies that have incentives to not talk about X, Y, and Z stories.
Right.
So
Right.
like, there's a I would say a bad side to marketing, as well as like the empowering side, where if you were to decide to do an advertisement for a project, then maybe you can't do an advertisement for another one that you believe in as well, because of non-competes and stuff like that. It just gets really sketchy.
Yeah, someone in chat said, was this 2009 you're talking about? No, we're talking about just in general educating people like nowadays, like for instance, someone that owns a weed dispensary, if they want to use Bitcoin, but the problem being like no one does their own research, no one does their own education. And then when they do go to research it, then the news has been really negative. So what we're saying is that like, what's it going to take to get those people to take action?
Right.
And I don't know.
I think it's normalizing it, honestly. And back to Vegas, I was at a dispensary in Vegas where they had an ATM, or well, a BTM, a Bitcoin machine, and walked in. I gave the machine some Bitcoin. It gave me the fiat, and I could pay for my cannabis, so I didn't have to walk in with my cash. I didn't have to use a Visa or debit card, which was really cool. And I think that's one of the stages right there, is sort of normalizing the interactions with it, with the business, instead of kind of forcing it on them and totally changing their business model. However they're doing business now, we could try to approach and pitch it to them the same way. So if you're a cash only business, you have an ATM right there in the corner. We know how ATMs work. That business makes 1 to 2% on every transaction that you pull out of that ATM, and then you're paying them the cash on top of
Right.
it. And
Yeah.
that the other option is accepting your Visa card and actually paying Visa that 1 to 2% instead of getting paid it. And you could say, hey, the Bitcoin ATM machine right there, they'll offer the same amount of fees, and customers will be able to engage the same way you do business currently.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we'll get there eventually. It's just, I don't know. If a nice bull run comes any day now, hopefully,
I
that
don't
might
know.
get
I
some.
don't want the bull run to beget the hype. I want the hype to beget the bull run.
Yeah, it's true.
Strong hands. Where's it at? There it is. I got it right here. Sitting here like strong, practicing my strong. Every time I feel like I might sell some Bitcoin, I just, strong hands.
Yeah, there you go.
So what are you getting into, man? What's like your big what's on your plate right now? What do you look? I know you do Steam Monster, you have Chibis on your website, and Gods Unchained, stuff like that, sort of. What else have you been looking at? What's kind of exciting you for 2019?
So the project I think is the most interesting right now, though I can't tell if it's, if it's a scam, I don't know, is Bitcoin Hex with Richard Hart.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got first of all, like the guy seems like a super genius. He says he's a billionaire. He actually made all of his money apparently in affiliate marketing. So like all of the stuff we were just talking about, he was basically like a giant spammer, like email spammer and all that. Back in the day when you could do that more easily. But Bitcoin Hex, if you watch his videos, which are like 3 hours long, and actually take the time to understand it versus just calling it a scam right away, it's actually a really interesting game theory project where he's trying to take all of the things that make Bitcoin great and then add some things that kind of like should be there according to him, such as if you're a holder, shouldn't you be getting paid interest for that instead of paying like miners to just constantly verify,
Well,
transactions?
that would be opening a Lightning channel. I would love to talk to Richard about this. I was just watching his video live earlier, and I have no problem calling it a scam. Only because of the way he talks about it. He just said earlier in a live stream that he believes it will be worth one Bitcoin hex will be worth more than one Bitcoin.
I mean, it's definitely I could see that. I just
So can I guess. I mean,
don't like
I
I don't
could
like the
see
fact
where,
that
Oprah runs for president and wins too. I mean, if it doesn't mean that I should be able to say stuff like that, depending on how my reputation is weighed in.
yeah, and I think the
Yeah,
fact that he's calling it Bitcoin Hex when it's not actually
Bitcoin
Bitcoin
at all.
is I think he's going to have a branding issue eventually. He says he might
He
rebrand
covered
it.
it today. He did. He's covered all that today.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
because
been keeping up on it a little bit. I want him to come on the podcast and talk about it because there's some things I really don't like about it, which some things I actually support because it's free market and I totally support that. And if I wanted to create my own, Steam Monster Bozak cards or whatever and compete with them, I should be able to fork it and do that. And it's up to, anybody else to support that if they want to or whatever, but it's how you perpetuate the idea is where it starts to get gray zoney.
well, it also runs on Ethereum. So he's like basically piggybacking Ethereum to create a token. It's an ERC20 token. So
Yeah.
when you claim, you're actually claiming it to an Ethereum address, and all he's doing is airdropping the token to whoever has Bitcoin. So
Yeah, but the unclaimed Bitcoin is like split up amongst like that pool as well. So
right.
he's trying to avoid one uneven wealth distribution issue by causing another uneven wealth distribution. Just it's going to take time. It's
Well, I mean, what he's trying to have a lot of rewards to get people to adopt it, which is a good marketing tactic, by the way. Like marketing this stuff is really hard.
oh,
So
marketing's important, 100%. Look at Tron, like that.
yeah, so the rewards up front are really important. So he's incentivizing that. He's incentivizing with a referral program. The longer you stake, the more interest you accrue, kind of like a certificate of deposit, I guess, or like a CD at an actual bank. Um, so like I don't know. It seems like a good idea, but will it play out that way? I have no idea. The currency keeps inflating over time based on rewards that need to be paid out, referrals. Um, I don't know. I just find it fascinating. I'm definitely going to claim the coins because it's free. So why the hell not just claim it? You can just leave it sit there forever, and then some exchange will list it. So I suggest everyone in here at least look into the project. Um, you
Yeah,
know,
I don't see any harm in it. I just don't see any utility behind it. That's all. It's what really gets me. I mean, that's with almost anything, though. Any token or coin that has been created, it's still like, well, why not Bitcoin? And the answer is always something I can answer with, well, eventually Bitcoin will take care of
yeah,
that. And like, I don't know, like you said, where you're staking your Bitcoin in a sense, Bitcoin will stop being mined in 2140, so it'll
yeah,
switch to proof of stake eventually. It is within its roadmap. And I
yeah,
think Lightning Channels is going to be a really big incentive for people like you and me, just to hold a like one Bitcoin that we're never going to spend because we're long-term
yeah,
holders. Sit that in the channel and just let our local network of friends transact between it. Be
yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. But I don't know how I feel about it, man. I looked into Bitcoin Wrap too, and I'm just like, all these things are just right now. All we need to do is just focus more on just Bitcoin, just Bitcoin.
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
is a time right now to take opportunity in a regrowth. Like I feel like we've had a good thinning of the herd. and there's another chance for some of these projects to have a decent run in attention again when the bull market comes back. And who knows? Like you said, Richard Hart's a friggin' genius. At least he comes off like one. And I don't think he's malicious. I've never seen him come off in any kind of like bad acting way. He's just highly opinionated. Who can blame anybody for that? You know, it's one of the reasons I like him. But
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with like.
but I don't know if it'll ever be anything will ever be worth more than one Bitcoin. Like I don't
Right.
see it.
Yeah.
Not when the supply is so large compared to Bitcoins.
Yeah. I have no problem with him coming out guns blazing on anyone that interviews him, you know, no shame, shilling his project, saying anyone come at me, tell me why it's going to suck. He hasn't, that I've seen. I've watched all his interviews. I haven't seen a single person interview him and get the best of him, like embarrass him, make him like, oh, avoid questions. I haven't seen that yet. So, I mean, maybe people are afraid of him. He does taunt people like, come at me, bro. Tell me my project sucks. So there's something to be said about that. I appreciate someone who's willing to basically just throw themselves out there and say, come shred me. You know, so.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool though, and I like that it's an Ethereum-based token. That's an airdrop based off your Bitcoin public address holdings. Like cool concept, cool concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Stone Crypto said in the chat, shilling it in a bear market. I think it's just bad timing too, as well. But that's again the thing. Like what I think BitTorrent has done is, it's odd. I don't believe in it, but if it does succeed in any way by people that use the network, it is in a bear market, and its success in a bull run will be exponential. I'm just I'm hedging a couple Satoshi into it just because of that concept, but not in a belief factor way. Like
Right.
I would
Yeah.
never pay for my torrents. I will donate. I will donate to somebody who is seeding, or a leecher, so I can seed. But I just don't like the extortionary concept of you like. Now you're really profiting off of me having some stolen intellectual property. You know what I mean? Like I don't know
Yeah.
how their BitTorrent as a company is going to get around that when I'm downloading, the newest Game of Thrones episodes and I'm paying for it with BitTorrent token. What is
Yeah.
HBO going to do? What is HBO going to do?
I don't know, man. But that's Hex is probably the one project that I'm just keeping keeping an eye on it for whenever the airdrop is.
How do you claim the airdrop? Like I honestly have no clue.
Yeah, so since it's a ERC20 token, you have to have any Ethereum address will work. And what you have to do is, and he's working on this now. Apparently, you could only originally use a Bitcoin wallet that started with 1 or BC1, I think it is, which is like a legacy wallet.
Yeah.
The newer wallets start with a 3, which I think is a SegWit wallet. I'm not that up on that, but I think that's what it is.
I
Originally,
use
he
Legacy for the record, everybody.
Yeah, originally he said, I think you need a legacy wallet, but they're working on being able to claim from a 3. All you have to do is tell them what your wallet address is. So here's all my Bitcoin. It's in this address. You sign a statement, tell them which Ethereum wallet you want to assign it to, click send.
So you do have to sign a message with the public address that way, because I can't just find somebody's Bitcoin public address. I have to sign
and then what's going to happen is there's going to be a snapshot. And then when they confirm that you have the Bitcoin you say you have, it'll be the hex tokens will then be dropped to your Ethereum address.
Hmm.
So we'll see how that all plays out. He says there's going to be a tool on the website that just lets you
Well, it seems very straightforward as far as airdrops go.
Yeah, and the referral program is actually pretty easy and simple. It's going to make for a crap ton of shilling though, and like spam.
Well, if anything, I like that he's pumping Bitcoin, right? He's incentivizing people to buy Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin, get Bitcoin right now. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't know if there's any incentive to hold Ethereum behind that ERC20 he's creating, which is pretty ironic.
Yeah. Well, he says that too, actually.
I love the irony in it.
Yeah, but he's got like interesting points about why he thinks what he said Ethereum could go to 0 and it actually doesn't even matter, like the value of it. Someone in chat asked, Stone Crypto says, when's the snapshot? They haven't announced it yet, but he says it's going to be like 4 to 6 weeks from now. They're doing like code auditing.
Mm.
So yeah,
And see, that's another thing that's without, without control. It's human error. What if there's an issue within the code and exploit? Then somebody's able to flood the market, or take control with a 51% attack, or whatever the possibilities may be. It's scary. So just be careful, everybody, when things like this are, happening. Just be careful. But then again, there's nothing to really, like I said, he's only incentivizing people to buy Bitcoin. Like, I want to find a hole to poke at this. I want to poke a hole. Like, the only hole I have is he said it was going to be worth more than one Bitcoin, and he's trying to solve the wealth distribution issues. And I'm just like, but you're causing another one. It doesn't solve. But,
well, he's also like redistributing Satoshi's coins. Technically, that's what he says. But he's also penalizing whales. So if you try to claim with a giant Bitcoin address, you actually can't do that.
Yeah, but how would you feel as somebody who is invested in physical gold if our government decided to create a rock that was backed by gold that we lost in the ocean and has been thrown into volcanoes and X, Y, and Z taken out of circulation, but because we need more of it? And like, I don't know, I just don't like the ethics behind that. I feel like the Satoshi's Bitcoin and all the lost, locked, and gone, stolen, whatever burnt Bitcoin that are out there are gone for a reason, and has contributed to the scarcity of Bitcoin today and its security. A lot of Bitcoin being locked up like that, it holds a lot of storage of value at X, Y, and Z prices too. Like, how many people lost 26,000 Bitcoin recently at Quadriga at today's price? That basically just locked $190 million worth, at 26,000 Bitcoin forever because it can't sell.
Yeah. I don't know, man. As with everything in crypto, we will see. That's like the only answer. Time will tell.
What are your thoughts on things like this being like regulated? The ability to do things like this in the future may be taken away from us, dependent on the success of how it's done by today's forefathers, and Richard kind of being one by doing what he's doing. It's one of the first in its kind. He's really kind of an innovator in a sense. Like, if this works, you could put him up there with like Vitalik and Justin and people like that. Like, whoa, you pulled it the hell off. But like, what about the risk factor of the failure of it and the potential that they'll be able to point at this and say, this is why we need regulations, this is why it has to be done from the government, this is why you can't have nuclear power in your backyard, Jimmy.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea, man. I don't know what kind of regulations that might come around because of something like this. Now, you just brought up a minute ago, like he's going to be potentially an innovator like Vitalik and all these guys. So, in his last crypto interview, he actually said that he went right down the line, like Bitcoin Cash, SV, and he went through all of the reasons why those exist. And he goes, Bitcoin Hex is better than each of them because of this. And if their market cap is as high as it is now, even was, Bitcoin Hex one day could assume that kind of.
So what about the problem of using an ERC20 token and having to pay the gas, right? Like, I don't understand that being an adoptable mainstream perspective for using a currency. That's why maybe for dApps in a business sense, in a corporate world, they may do something with, higher priority smart contracts, and they'll get used to staking ETH in a wallet to use for gas for their smart contracts in-house and X, Y, and Z reasons. But I don't see that being in a retailer perspective where my mom and my little sister are going to have a holding of Ethereum just to send Bitcoin Hex around.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
Thank you.
I guess, one of the that I guess he hopes everyone just holds Hex, because that's the point, I guess. You get rewarded for staking. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good point.
If everyone's holding it, no one's using it, it'll have no value. That's just,
right. Yeah, you wouldn't want every single person to hold it. Like, if one person held all of it, that would be pretty
Or if
dumb.
everybody held it, there was nothing to do with it. That's why I'm just like, a lot of these things, but again, we have the chat saying, why? Because you have the God given right to fuck around and do dumb shit. Whatever you want. Like, if you want to open a lemonade stand and compete with, corporate lemonades, and you have the friggin' right to do so. And you should have the same opportunities the corporations have and tools that they have at your disposal without worrying about censorship. If you want to go get a loan and open up a business that probably is dumb, it's up to you to do it, and I would say it's up to your community to support you and back that, not up to a bank to decide to do what your community's money, what they want, right? Like, the money a bank decides to loan you isn't their money, it's your constituents, it's your peers' money that they're in charge of. So I think that, reaching back out to that, true economy where your peers can help you and not have to be, censored by banking and everything, and the micro ability to do so, and with the future of these STOs and utility tokens, all this is a great experiment for the better of the industry. Like, even Bitcoin Hex and BitConnect or whatever, if you want to compare whatever you think of in this space, it's all for the best of the future of it moving forward. It's just, we're just beta testing it right now today, deal with the bugs and embrace it until it doesn't succeed, because we're never going to move forward if we keep bashing everything.
I completely agree with that. I think calling everything a scam is a mistake, and all it does is
call it a scam when it's gone, when it scams.
Exactly.
Call it a scam when it is a scam, not before it's a scam. Call it a scam when it is a scam.
I mean, it's one thing if something has like 99 out of 100 signs it's a scam. Like, okay, maybe it earns it, but just because something has Bitcoin in the name or something like that, I don't know. I just don't like how people immediately just attack. I'm a guy that loves to just sit back and watch innovation happen. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
That's what I'm trying to do right now with this gaming industry and blockchain. I'm sitting here spectating what I believe to be related to, like, the colored screen and console era of gaming. When, we had, even before, I guess, with, like, the arcades. But, I mean, when you could game in-house, it was revolutionary for the industry as a whole. Like, they were only marketing to businesses these video games. And the concept of bringing people in to spend money to play per game. And now people could buy the game and own it and play and pay one time to play at home. And the gaming industry was just reborn overnight.
Now you can just download it.
And it happened, look at what happened with Fortnite in this Apex game I was just talking about. 25 million players in 7 days. And that's all it's going to take for one of these blockchain games. 7 days, 20-something, that's it. And then we'll see, like, the business model or the gaming model that Fortnite used was Battle Royale. And it's one of the first, PUBG, and I think, what was some of the other ones? I can't remember. I only played PUBG and Fortnite Battle Royale, but it's basically you versus 99 people versus each other. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. And nobody's done that before. And now we have, Call of Duty doing it, and a brand new game like Apex. As soon as somebody takes off in this space, and I think I think it's going to be something similar to what Steam Monsters is doing. When you look at the success of, like, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon cards, all those cards are still pretty damn popular in mainstream culture. Like, it's actively being played, these trading card games. And even Magic the Gathering had their arms twisted into creating a digital version of it because people want that experience.
I think it's amazing. You can go to, like, Wax.io or OpenSea and buy someone's, like, gaming item. Like, oh, I want that so that I can go back and play it. Right. That's just cool. I mean,
dude, I could lend you it. I could lend you a private key to a fucking game.
Like, I used to play Counter-Strike in a league way back in, like, the early 2000s. I was like almost a semi-pro AWPer. I was an AWPer, if you know what that is. And, like, none of this even remotely, like, the idea that I could, like, buy someone else's gun, like, has a certain skin or has, like, a rarity to it. I mean, it's just fascinating stuff. But yeah, I totally agree. I can't wait to see that one game that just totally smashes through as the crypto game. It's going to come. It's going to come eventually. Like, some guys are listing some, like Axie Infinity. Some guys are listing some in chat. And that's the whole philosophy behind Castle Crypto, is that I'm trying to create a community that actually legitimately reviews these games so that people can make better decisions. Like, okay, Steam Monsters is awesome. Here's why. here's why something else sucks. You know, it's a total scam because A, B, and C, not just it's a scam because it's in crypto.
Right.
It's actually a reason for it. You know, I don't know. The gaming community and the crypto community are going to merge, and it's going to be awesome.
I don't even know if it's something that we can like even touch on, like how it would look. I feel like it's just Black Mirror esque, you know, looking into the future of how this is going to be, especially with the attention economy being the way it is. You know, being able to sell that data to that bottom part of my YouTube live stream right there for advertisers to plug in and put whatever they want. And depending who you are watching the stream, those ads that I have right there, they're different.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be awesome because I want to see ads that are relevant to me.
Right. Nobody may care about most of that. You know, it's not helping those companies as much as it would be if I could target. And I'm gonna have the same tools as these corporations do real soon, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's as an advertiser and a marketer, I would love to be able to buy inventory slots or like say that, okay, you know, here's my audience. I know exactly where to place these ads. I mean, it would make your job so much better, way better.
So I guess to end this on a note, I didn't realize we're almost at 2 hours. I could have done this all damn day. I got to get better at yeah, constraining my podcast, I think. I can see why Joe Rogan lets his go for hours. I could seriously do this all day. All right, so to wrap things up, I want to get some, you know, some advice, I guess, like tips. What am I doing wrong? What can I do right? What are, you know, again, like talk to me as if I'm you know, a company out here trying to do marketing. What is the average mistake a lot of these, you know, companies are doing when they're trying to do targeted marketing? And what is maybe some of the common mistakes content creators like myself might make when trying to self-promote and do things like affiliate and referral programs and actually get engagement? What are some of the things we're doing wrong, and how can we flip that script?
So for anyone that's a YouTuber like yourself or whoever's creating content on the regular on YouTube, the title of your video is huge with keywords and bringing in new viewers. Okay. Now I'm going to pick on yours for a second because what I'm going to suggest is that after this is recorded, you actually go back and change it based on what we talked about. So for instance, the title of this video is called Not Another Bitcoin Interview with Ryan Rodden of Castle Crypto. What I would do is actually edit it and switch it to the topics we talked about. Crypto gaming, put that in the title, put Bitcoin hex in the title, put Facebook marketing, put keywords in the title, because right now, a ton of people are searching for, let's say, Bitcoin hex. If it's not in the title of your video, Google's, who owns YouTube, is not going to show the video. At least it's not going to be very high. So anyone watching this, the title of your video, especially the first couple words, put in the most important keywords. So if that's a gaming review, it should be, you know, God's Unchained review, digital gaming, digital collectible cards or something. You can bring in so much free organic views just from that alone. Okay, so just that tip right there is huge. I don't know if anyone has any
definitely got to get better with that clickbait titling stuff. I
don't
don't
necessarily clickbait. Don't think of it as clickbait. Think of it as helping Google sort your content because they don't know what this is really about, right? We just talked for 2 hours, and the title of it is Not Another Bitcoin Interview, which is fine. That's a great title for like a podcast. But to help them serve it to people who are looking for shit, put in keywords that people are searching. Like, do you think people looking into Bitcoin hex would like this talk? The answer is yes. Do you think people looking into crypto gaming would like this talk?
I see your point. So you just put that right in the title. I see. I'm not the best with any of that. I've always used YouTube and every other social platform basically just by native, you know, default, pretty natural growth, you know, just straight community engagement. I never really looked at any of my content as sort of something in a marketing perspective, you know what I mean, like that. So like I can see, you know, why it is important to have somebody like you on the damn team.
Yeah, because what you're doing is you're categorizing stuff into like ideas, topics, keywords, and what happens is think about how Google's stalking everyone. They start knowing your search patterns. They're going to start serving your channel to people that obviously like crypto, but more importantly, those refined keyword ideas. You can even go back to your old videos and mess around with changing the title. Like if you remember what you talked about, for instance, Steam Monsters, put Steam Monsters review or Steam Monsters, is it worth it? People search that in Google all the time.
Interesting.
If that phrase is in your title, you might show up in Google search as a video because you put that exact question.
So you can go to Google and type in Steam Monsters, fill in the blank, and see what some of the more common pre-populated answers are, and use that as a title.
So pull up your browser right now, Google Steam Monsters, and then go to the bottom. And I can give you an awesome recommendation on a browser extension. We're going to be getting a little nerdier. But
all right, I have it up here on the screen.
Okay, so scroll all the way to the bottom with the like other things people search, related searches.
Yeah, right here. Oh, searches related to Steam Monsters, Steam Monsters Kickstarter, Steam Monsters, Steam It, Steam Monsters, Steam Monsters promo code,
Yeah,
how
there
to
you
play
go.
Steam Monsters. Okay.
So how to play Steam Monsters. Google is telling you people are looking for that. If I'm the owner of Steam Monsters, that tells me I need a page on my site that says how to play Steam Monsters.
So let me see if I click how to play Steam Monsters. Yeah, my video is not here. My video isn't here, man.
Yeah, see, it should be.
It should be.
But you don't have how to play Steam Monsters in the title of your video. That's probably why.
You're right. I do not. So I will have to fix that.
Yeah. So some of the guys
that
are
was a very
commenting like
worthwhile tip.
using the algorithm to your advantage, analytics. Yeah, so analytics is key. I'd love to walk you through a browser extension, but it's probably going to take too long. Maybe we'll do it, and then you can do it as like a separate. It's more of like an SEO tactic, but being able to capture all those related searches and making videos for them. This is like, if anyone walks away from this video with any tip about content marketing, you can look at stuff like related searches like that, especially in an industry like this where there's like very little competition, and just put those keywords in your title of the video. I mean, that is step one to bringing in organic traffic, because Google is a robot. It doesn't know what Bitcoin hex is. Okay. All of a sudden people are typing the word hex after Bitcoin and Google's going, I don't know what the hell that is. Right. But if you have it in your title, it's going to say, okay, well, this guy might be talking about it. This video says it's a scam. This video, blah, blah, blah. Right.
So searches related to Bitcoin hex, just Bitcoin hex price, how to claim Bitcoin hex, how to get Bitcoin hex, Bitcoin hex snapshot. There you go.
So if you're making 3 videos on Bitcoin hex, you could do them all in one, or you could do Bitcoin hex snapshot will be blah, 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 blah.
Right. Yeah, that's a really easy way to get some, like you said, real natural engagement right there. It's from the top searches. So there you go, guys. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel or creating content in crypto, basically just go search a word, scroll down, searches related to, and start answering some searches. And that's a really good way to contribute to the industry as well, and probably end up learning a lot yourself. You may not know the answers to the damn questions that are being asked. You're going to end up learning some shit and earning some tokens, some crypto, because you could post this on Steam It. You could post this on Steam It and BitTube, and like you said, the titles, and when people Google it, it will you'll help search up in your decentralized platforms as well as Medium and YouTube and things like the centralized platforms.
Yeah, so that tip I just gave you about like titles of videos, that applies to like blog posts. It applies to Steam It titles. So like if you make a Steam It post, if you just title your Steam It post Ken Bozak talking about Bitcoin, it's too generic. You need to say exactly what you're talking about. How to claim Bitcoin hex at the snapshot. That is an exact topic line that Google's going to eat that up. And then, again, this is all free. You're not paying for any of this traffic. You're just optimizing for what people are looking for specifically. And when there's not a lot of competition, if no one else made a video on how to claim Bitcoin hex, for example, and you're the only one, I mean, Richard Hart is definitely going to do it. I mean, if he doesn't, that's foolish. But, you're going to show up at the top.
It would actually be pretty funny if he doesn't, because of the bias towards it. If he distanced himself from it just a little bit, I could see that making some sense. Just a little bit. But yeah, this has been awesome, man. Let people know where they can find you on the internet, and a little bit more about some of your other projects, like your SEO company, where they can reach out to you and maybe you could help them. Oh, thank you so much, Full-Time Geek, for the super chat, 420. Much appreciated, bro. Guys, don't forget to check out steemit.com and check out Full-Time Geek on Steemit. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. But yeah, let people know where they can find you and how to get a hold of you. And again, maybe a little bit about what you can offer, even independent content creators, not just projects.
Yeah, so for independent content creators, what I usually do is do like a 1-hour consulting. So like the keyword tip I just gave you and some other...
Yeah, how much money do I owe you? Holy shit.
Give me $4.19. You can keep 1 penny.
Thanks, Full-Time Geek.
Nah, I mean, nothing, dude. It's, it's on the house, of course. But when I do full-time consulting with content creators, I just do it by the hour, which again, this is another crypto area where, like, imagine if we could just micro transaction people like, hey, dude, I need you for 10 minutes. Here's a little bit of crypto automatically sent. Here's a tip I can give you. I mean, I think that's actually in the works some way, somehow. Anyway, so with content creators, I do 1-hour consulting by the hour. And then for businesses, I do full-time monthly. And my business is called Witblade, so witblade.com, WITBLADE.com. So you can check it out. Just fill out the contact form if you want to arrange an appointment. Other than that, just check out castlecrypto.gg if you like gaming and you like crypto. That's pretty much it. So Castle Crypto is going to be following this space as closely as possible. That's it. You hit me up on my sites. Just any contact form is fine. I should get the email, and that's it.
All right, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back, everybody. Thanks, Full-Time Geek. Cleared that one a little bit. Held it in too long. Wow. All right. So, everybody, go ahead and check out WITBLADE, witblade.com, and get your consultant on trying to figure out exactly how to get yourself more exposure. It's not that easy in this industry right now, especially when you're looking at Facebook, Google, Twitter, and your traditional means of advertising. It's just, it's hard. So definitely reach out. And dude, I really appreciate you coming on. Again, 2 hours. I know we were only scheduled for an hour. Sorry to keep you hostage at conversation so long.
Yeah, man, it's fun. I mean, I love doing this stuff. Plus, you're local, and I met you. We actually met at the Litecoin Summit back in.
Yeah, I know, dude. And then we met in Philly, and it's like, how didn't we run into each other sooner?
Yeah, and by the way, they just announced next year's Litecoin Summit's going to be
World CryptoCon.
World CryptoCon. Yeah.
I was there. It was my birthday. My birthday again. It's going to be on my birthday again. I guess they're doing it every year on my birthday. Lucky me. I have the best birthday ever because like thousands of friggin' crypto people come to my party because I decided to throw my party in the middle of the conference by bringing a cake. Seriously, dude, did you see it? I had my own cake at World CryptoCon. My own little
awesome.
Yeah, I turned 30 in Vegas at World CryptoCon. Shout out to those guys. I'll be there on Halloween in Vegas. And another conference I want to shout out is Coinsbank. They're doing a cruise. Everybody should definitely look into that without a doubt. All right, guys, thanks again for tuning in. If you enjoyed the chat, pound the thumbs up button. Obviously, we know this helps the SEO. And if you didn't like it, hit that button because I'm sure that helps too. It does something. It ain't for nothing. Let me know what you really feel, guys. Let me know what you think. Share this out on social media and maybe tag a content creator that could use some of the help, man, so they know where to go to get it, and subscribe. And any last words, bro?
Also, check out my band, Night Mission. We do classic style heavy metal if you're in Philly.
Oh, shit, guys. Check it out if you're in Philly, 215. All right, man. Yeah. Have a day.
See you guys.